Hey friends, welcome to my channel Other Musings once more. So today I come with a pick a card reading that's going to talk about your best quality. Now it could be one particular quality that really stands out, or it could be more than one quality in some of your cases. And I'm going to try to speak to that as I see for different group. So it's going to really talk about that one or more, in some cases slightly more than one particular quality, particular talent or set of talent, particular gifts that is inherent in you, that you have born with, that really stands out in you. And I'm going to see what it takes for you to really take that particular talent or take that set of qualities to the next level. What you may be ignoring at the moment, or what you can do better, what you need to work on to really fully manifest that set of talent or that particular quality, whatever it is, right? So, because remember, we all are born with different talents and different qualities, but most of the time, we may not be aware of that. And even if we are aware, we may be doing certain things that may be really holding us back, that may be really not allowing us to let that talent or let that particular skill, blossom to the fullest extent. So that will be the goal of this particular reading, to first really identify either one or more than one set of qualities or set of talents or set of skills. And then secondly, potentially identify anything that may be holding you back from fully manifesting that. So as usual, I have 4 groups in front of you. This is the group number 1. I have the tiger's eye. This is group number 2. This is a beautiful Lapis Lazuli crystal. This is group number 3. This is Howlite. And this is group number 4. This is Moonstone, right? So again, this is group number 1, this is group number 2, this is group number 3, this is group number 4. As usual, I'm going to keep these groups in front of you for a minute or so once I'm done with the introduction. And within that time, you can pause the video if needed. You can contemplate on these groups, and then once you are ready, choose the group that calls you the most. Go by your gut instinct. And once you have done your choosing, you can find the timestamp corresponding to your group in the description box below, right? And I will meet you over there once you have clicked on the timestamp for your particular group. A couple of things, or disclaimer, this is a general reading. So again, I will try to deal with all the different aspects, but I may not be able to touch every single thing within a limited time. So choose whatever resonates with you the most and ignore the rest. Also, this is a timeless reading by its very nature. So whenever you see this reading, it should apply for you, or it should be applicable for you from that point onwards. Just one more note, I do offer personal readings. So if any one of you is interested in personal reading, you can contact me and you can book a reading through HC. The link for that will be given in the description box below. Also, if you want to follow me in my Facebook page, Other Musing, the link for that is also given in the description box below. If you do like these readings, and if it resonates with you, if it helps you in any way, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and like my videos. Having said that, I'm going to now pause, and I'm going to leave these groups in front of you for about a minute or so. Hey, group number one, those of you who have chosen this tiger's eye, this will be your group. We'll see what biggest quality or what biggest qualities you possess through this reading. So I think my group number one, you people are very strong by nature. If I have to put it in one word, to characterize your group, it is you guys are very inherently very happy-go-lucky, bohemian. You, to be very honest, to be very frank, I cannot sugarcoat this too much, but you may have passed through a lot of troubles in your life. There has been probably a lot of cases, where you may have willingly or unwillingly, you may have been embroiled in a lot of conflict. There may have been a lot of setbacks in your life, and it may be still something that that you have to deal with. There may have been a lot of failures, lack of success, that lack of that typical material prosperity that people look for in their life, right? All that may have eluded you to a certain extent. But, and this is a big but despite all that, you have that inherent quality, and this is the biggest quality that you possess, and this is the most precious quality that that anyone can possess, is that you people are very jovial by nature. You people are very happy by nature. You don't have your happiness doesn't really depend on possessing different things. Like, for example, most of us we feel we look after happiness by going for more things, maybe bigger house, maybe fancier clothes, maybe new cars, gadgets, this and that, going out for a foreign trip, all this. So our happiness really depends on a lot of conditions. We have to have this, we have to eat in a nice place, we have to live in a fancy house, all this. But in your case, your happiness is not dependent on anything. You are inherently happy, and this is, I think, the very big quality for anyone to have, because in this, but life after life, everyone, no matter who they are, no matter what is their position in life, no matter what country they belong to, what religion they are following, nothing, irrespective of all boundaries. I think fundamentally we are all looking for happiness. And most of us, we try to satisfy that happiness, or we at least think that, we can get that permanent happiness through material things, right? Through being at a certain stage in life, through career, through material possessions, through name and fame, all that stuff. But really, that happiness is not really, a permanent happiness. It's really more of a momentary happiness. For example, if you get a new car, you'll be fascinated by that car, maybe for a month, maybe for a few days, maybe even in some cases, maybe for a year. But after that, as you get slowly used to that car, it just becomes part of your life, regular life. So you are no longer fascinated to that extent by that car. So it fails to give you that same level of happiness, that you had derived when you had first got that car. And the same thing applies, for everything in our life. Whereas in your case, since your happiness, you are inherently happy by nature. Your happiness is coming from a deeper source inside you. So you don't have to depend on anything to be happy, right? So I see that, you have faced a lot of obstacles in your life, right? I have the Four of Wands over here. This come out reversed. Right, I have very next to it, I have the Five of Wands that talks about conflict. So these two together So clearly, you know, it talks about that lack of success, and then plus I have the 10 of Pentacles over here reversed, I have the Sun card over here reversed, right? So this, when I look at these 4 cards, they don't tell a very happy story, right? So for anyone else, this would be quite a lot to deal with in their life, right? So there's a lot of troubles, conflict, maybe you know, conflict with your near and dear ones, you know, with your friends. There could be some issues, you know, where your family members, you know, maybe out to get you in some way, maybe out to corner you. Maybe, you know, you may have some bad company to deal with in terms of, you know, your family members, you know, your kith and kin, your friends, your colleagues, right? There's also, you know, you may have to, you know, fight for everything. Things may not be coming easily to you. Nothing in your life, you know, has so far come easily to you, and you know, you have had to put a lot of fight, and despite that, you may not have reached that level of success that, you know, someone else would crave for in their life. But one thing is, actually 2 things. One, either, you know, you don't care about that, right? It's like, you know, you don't bother about all those, you know, small material happinesses, right? So all this, whatever has bad has happened in your life, it may have failed to, you know, leave any permanent mark inside you. Yeah, maybe, you know, they have created temporary setbacks, maybe, you know, they have created temporary grief, temporary pain, but, you know, you have been strong enough to put it behind and move further, move ahead. And secondly, again, you may, even if you have cared for those things, you know, even if you have wished for some level of material happiness, I think the situation, or over time, you have either become stronger, or you have either become mature enough to realize that this is not your goal in this life, or, you know, you will reach that stage, because the very next to these 4 cards, I have the Death card, right? So the Death card talks about transformation, and this is the transformation. This is the kind of transformation that I was talking about. Is that, you know, you are going to realize, even if for the moment, wherever you are, right? Even if, you know, this lack of apparent happiness, this lack of material success may be bothering you a little bit, but, you know, you are going to get over this, and that transformation is going to happen in you, because this is not your goal, right? This so-called material happiness, so-called material prosperity, my friend, this particular group, this is not your goal. You are actually after something higher, something much more valuable, something much more difficult to get, you know, something that other people have to strive really life after life before they get there, right? So you are really high vibration beings, you know, for whom this material happiness is not the goal in this life, and, you know, you are inherently happy, and the universe will try to make you, you know, will try to really make you more happy. You know, they are trying to open up that door that brings more ecstasy, more divine joy, more happiness in your life. So that is your real goal, and that's why I see, you know, next to this Death card, I have the Willing Release, right? Willing Release and the Smoke and Mirror. So this is a very interesting card, right? The Smoke and Mirror. Plus, you know, I have the Willing Release, right? So this talks about surrender, surrendering to the divine, and the Smoke and Mirror, it talks about the illusion that this material world is an illusion, right? Whatever this, that's what I was talking about earlier, that this momentary happinesses that most of us, you know, go for, you know, these are not going to give us that long-lasting joy, because as we age, you know, our body loses its, you know, its strength, our body loses its luster, right? As we, you know, progress towards inevitable death that is waiting for all of us, right? All of us will realize, or at least most of us will realize, that whatever, you know, we have been pursuing, all the world's material wealth, all the world's name and glory, cannot prevent us from dying, right? And when we die, we have to leave everything behind. We have come naked in this world, and we are going to leave naked this world. Very few people realize that. But most of you, this particular group, you will realize that, you will see through that smoke and mirror. You will see through that, that illusion. Right? That's why this card has come out. And then once you realize that, that's what so this entire process is about making you realize that. So first of all, you are inherently happy. You're already, this is your destiny by nature. This is your biggest quality. But nature is also making sure that in this life, you get that transformation. You reach that fullest level of realization, of real happiness. And that's why the nature is setting the stage. So all this apparent conflict, misery, pain, lack of success is actually a process to make you stronger, right? And to really manifest that inherent quality of yours to the fullest extent, and to give you the taste of real happiness. So this happiness is the biggest quality of this particular group, and this is the ultimate destination for this particular group in this lifetime, right? And see, that very interestingly, next to I also have the spiritual career. I have the spiritual career and I have the nature, right? So definitely, you may feel very close to nature. Whenever you go out, being in the nature, being in the company of plants, animals, feeling that, that cool air on your face, listening to the twittering of the birds in the morning, right? That may give you immense pleasure in your life, right? That may give you the real pleasure in your life, right? So again, for this particular group, while other people they go after mundane things, that's what gives them happiness. But in your case, it is really your inherent the simple things of life. And this already talks about spiritual career. So you are spiritual by nature, and this is your goal. You are going to transform yourself, and you may also show the path to others, right? And show them the real door to happiness through your future work. So some of you you may work as healers, you may work as counselors, maybe some of you you may work in some fields that require divination, maybe psychic abilities, right? So this is what your destiny is. So first of all, to transform yourself, and secondly, to really transform others through your realization, through your vision, through your own experience, right? So this is the goal of you people. And again, I have this card, the Thinker. This has come out reversed. Then very next to it, I have the Happy, right? So if you look at this, these two cards, for example, the Thinker, why it has come out reversed? Again, you don't, just because you are inherently happy, I get two messages from this card. One is the universe is, this may be your nature, that you don't tend to think a lot, right? Because too much thinking, brings about more worry, more anxiety, more depression, more tension in life, right? You are free of that. You don't tend to think too much. And when I see this card, the Thinker, along with the Willing Release, right? And then I have the Vulnerability card over here reversed. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more detail later on. But when I see all these cards, you are too happy to, surrender to the universe, to the divine, to the divinity, to their wish, right? So and remember what I said before, you're very happy-go-lucky, very bohemian. You don't tend to worry too much. And you may not have reached that, that fullest level of maturity, in terms of these qualities, but you are going to get there. Even if you haven't reached that fullest level, all these qualities may not be manifesting to their fullest extent in some of your case at this point of your life. And again, it's a general reading, so it will typically vary for each one of you. But then remember, you have the Death card, which again talks about transformation. So the ultimate goal of your life is to really, reach the peak of happiness, right? To willingly surrender yourself to the nature, to the divinity, right? To the divine powers, and just open up yourself. And that's where this Vulnerability card comes in. So this vulnerability and the Thinker actually goes hand in hand, right? So you are not vulnerable. This apparent setbacks in life, this cannot put you down, right? That's why this vulnerability card has come out reversed. So you are not vulnerable. You are actually a strong person, right? So no matter what has happened, no matter how many setbacks you have had, it cannot put you down, because eventually you are going to see through the smoke and mirror. You are going to see through the illusion, the illusory nature of this world. You are going to see the eventual purpose of your life, and why all this has happened in your life. You are going to see through that. You are going to realize your real nature. You are going to surrender to the divinity, to the higher universe, right? And the infinite. The infinite. So I think the infinite this card has come out reversed simply because it's a process, right? As I have been telling, that fullest manifestation of those qualities may have, maybe yet to take place in your life, right? But this is the goal. So this infinite, reaching that infinite, that is your goal in this life. That's why this card has come out reversed, right? So it's a very beautiful spread. It talks about, that inherently that you have born with the greatest gift that anyone can really ask for, because your happiness, and remember, happiness is a state of being, right? Our happiness, if it depends on other things, then it cannot give us the real happiness, because by nature, we are happy. Happiness is our birthright, right? So if we have to look for happiness in an external place, in external situations, in external objects, then that is not the real happiness, right? And so that is your biggest quality, to be happy, not to worry too much, the ability to trust the universe, the ability to see through, this apparent, the illusory nature of the universe, right? Your strength, you have the inherent strength, and remember, the strength and happiness goes kind of hand in hand. Because if you are a person, who doesn't tend to think too much, who doesn't tend to worry too much, who's too happy to surrender to the universe, right? Then obviously by nature you will be strong, because then that means you have less things to worry about. You have less things to be anxious about. You don't bother. You know that whatever these ups and downs, these are all there to make you more stronger, make you more mature, right? Reveal that inner door to happiness for you, right? So that you have seen through. Again, I keep coming back to this card. One who has seen through this smoke and mirror, one who has seen beyond this, seen past this. For them, this doesn't really matter. This apparent, lack of material success, lack of happiness, so-called happiness, doesn't really matter, because you are in pursuit of a bigger happiness. That is your biggest quality. So it's a beautiful spread. And again, lastly, I will also say that you have chosen this tiger's eye, and tiger's eye also talks about divine protection, right? So you are protected. Someone is watching over you. It's like a tiger who's watching over you, right? But in this case, it's a higher spiritual powers. And also, some of you may be already initiated. You may be already following a particular spiritual path. If you are not, I would strongly suggest that you should meditate. You should look for your master. Pray to the universe. Pray to God, to your chosen deity, to show you your master, because you people are really spiritual by nature. You are very high vibration people, and you are being protected. So this is your goal. To really, fully manifest that inner happiness, to fully surrender yourself, and fully manifest, your inner spiritual tendencies, and ultimately, you will reach that stage. You will not only find happiness yourself, you will also be able to show others the path. Right. So that is all I have, my group number 1. It's a beautiful spread, and I'm very happy to do this reading for you. Hope this resonates with you. If it does, don't forget to give me a like and leave me a comment. And also you can follow my Facebook page, Other Musings, and I do offer private readings. You can find the description in the description box below. And I hope to bring you another reading in the future. For now, I take your leave. Bye. Hey, group number 2, for those of you who have chosen this beautiful Lapis Lazuli crystal, this will be your reading. We will see what kind of gifts, talents, inner qualities. It could be one quality, or if I see more than one, I'm going to definitely talk about that also. So group number 2, I think from whatever I'm seeing in front of me, I see some very powerful energies. So you people are definitely gifted. You people are gifted in more than one ways. So first and foremost, the very thing that comes to my mind is you people are powerful manifestors. You can manifest anything, right? So you have that energy, that high level of energy, and that drive, whereby you can really manifest anything and everything that that you set your eyes on, that you want to really achieve. That's what, it's your one of the most fundamental quality or gift that you have, is that ability to manifest and the ability to give shape to whatever you are aspiring for, or whatever you set your eyes on, whatever that you have dreamt about. You have that power to give it a concrete shape, to manifest that. Because I have the King of Wands over here, then I have the World card, I have the King of Cups, I have the Queen of Pentacles, right? And then I have the Bust of Magic, right? And then directly below that Bust of Magic, I have the Manifestia card, right? So it's definitely, it talks about that ability to manifest and ability to create something out of nothing, to invent, to create, to bring into existence, right? And because of that high level of energy, that high level of the creativity. So, so I have been hinting at this so far. So another strong point, another strong quality is that a lot of you have some creative spark, right? Because I see the World as well as the King of Cups. So definitely, you are imaginative. You can create. And again, as I was talking about, now I'm not sure what exact creative talent you have, right? But it's something that's going to bring you some success, right? So you could be writers, you could be painters, you could be content creators, you could be some maybe a tarot reader, right? Anything that requires that little bit of creativity, that little bit of imagination, right? That imaginative and creative spark. You have that in you, and you should be able to make a pretty good career out of that, right? So I think definitely you people are powerful manifestors, and definitely you people, because of that strong drive, inner drive, that strong level of energy, that strong, maybe one or more than one skill and talent that you have. You should have no problem in life, in really having a good life, or reaching that position of material success, financial success, and overall stability in your life, because of this very two key talents or two key qualities. One is that inner drive and a lot of passion, lot of energy, and the second one is that overall that more than one talent or a skill set, or ability to think through something, right? Now what I see is also there's no question that you people have that drive, and you people have that fire in you. That really, I think that's the word I've been looking for, that fire, as well as that creative spark. So that very deadly combination, which is key to any kind of success in life. And you have that in you, right? But on the other side, but before I change topic, so I want to draw your attention to a few cards. Obviously, I've talked about the burst of magic over here, and then I have talked about the manifestia, which is like, really it talks about manifesting, right? It's your ability to create something, your ability to establish something, your ability to really bring something out of nothing or create something out of nothing, right? That is what. Plus, the third thing is, you are also very wise. You have that, and it's kind of strange in this particular group because, at one point, you are wise, and you know how to approach different things in life, what to do, because you have that sense of stability. I have the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Plus, you have obviously a lot of energy, a lot of talent, a lot of creative spark, a lot of skill. So that really makes you a kind of an ideal candidate to lead any big project, or take on any leadership role, right? So in that way, you are very wise, you are very strong, you're very stable, right? And you have the ability to teach and learn. So you are kind of a person who is learning, and at the same time, you can teach others, right? And that's because in life, you are always learning. You're always enhancing, no matter where you are, no matter what you are doing. You never cease to learn. You take all that opportunity to learn from every aspect of life, from everything in life. And that in turn makes you a very good teacher, because you are a leader, and because people can learn not only from you directly, but just by looking at you. You are a very good role model, because you have that, again, because of all your vital qualities, because of your tremendous drive, your tremendous passion, your ability to, your multiple talents, skill set, your ability to think about a problem, right? So that makes you a very good leader, a very good teacher, right? And at the same time, some of the cards are very interesting. See, I have the High Priestess over here, reversed. And then I have the Willing Release. The Willing Release card, it actually talks about surrender, right? Actually talks about surrender, right? And then I have the, the Here and Now card upright, right? So these kind of things, makes me believe that there may be a tendency, because of you people are such high energy people, that sometimes you may lose track. There may be a tendency that where you are trying to take too much control of life in your own hand, right? So sometimes you may lose that insight, right? Because what happens is, when you have too many things going on for you, when you are such a powerful manifester, when you can, you are such a powerful leader, and you are born with, these different talents and skill set, and you are creating, and you have the tremendous power to create a new life for you. Bring all that success, attract all that success. The law of karma, or it's not the law of karma, the law of attraction is working for you. So sometimes it may happen that, you may lose sight, or you may lose the ability to be in tune with nature, right? That's why this Willing Release has come, right? That's why the High Priestess has come out reversed. So it's just telling you that just because things are working for you, and just because the universe has endowed you with so many, qualities, so much of energy, don't lose sight of the ultimate goal, that, and that at one point there is a need for you to surrender. At some point there is a need for you to surrender yourself, being more in tune with nature, right? And also because, remember I said that, you people have a lot of inner wisdom, right? and you should be able to bring out that wisdom, that a lot of that wisdom, a lot of that inner knowledge is, is still buried inside you. It's still waiting to come out. And the way it can come out is by you learning to surrender yourself, right? So there's a need for surrendering yourself, because I also see this synchronicity card. So this synchronicity card, talks about, for example, in being very, being very open to see to all the things that may be happening around you, to all the the hidden symbols and signals that the universe may be trying to send you. Be very receptive to those. Maybe you are seeing repeating numbers. Maybe you are prone to having deja vus, right? Maybe the universe is trying to reach you. The universe is trying to communicate to you, right? So you are going to get those synchronicity. You are going to get those apparent maybe someone you have been thinking about suddenly comes up. The telepathic powers, or seeing some weird patterns, repeating patterns. Be open to those. So this one plus the willing release, right? So this talks about just be more in tune with nature, be more in tune with the universe, learn to surrender a little bit. Don't get too much lost in all this activity, because obviously given your gifts, and more than one gift I should say, there is still a need for you to be a little bit more stable and here and now, right? So when I look at this here and now card, plus the High Priestess card reversed, it talks about don't get too carried away. Don't lose sight of your ultimate goal of life, because fundamentally, no matter how much of material manifestations you have been able to attract, you need to still go beyond that and realize that there are more things that are waiting for you, higher and better things that are waiting for you, just because you have the ability to go for those, because you people have that inner wisdom, you have that inner talent, you have that inner leadership ability, because other people follow you by example, right? So you shouldn't really waste all that just behind all your material pursuits, right? You should rather take some time and maybe be in nature, go out in the nature, right? Introspect a little bit, meditate a little bit. Again, as I said, be open to whatever the nature is trying to communicate to you. Be here and now. See, this is a very interesting card. It talks about here and now. Right? Don't think too much about the past. Don't think too much about the future. Utilize your present to the fullest extent. And I think you can do that. I think you have the ability. This particular group has the ability to do that. You can take complete control of your current situation, right? So the only caveat is it's a very strong spread. It's a very strong group of people. Plus, you have chosen this Lapis Lazuli, right? Which talks about, the spirit. It talks about vision. It talks about, universal symbol. Again, universe. It's a synchronicity, right? It talks about wisdom and power, wisdom and truth, right? So it's this is a sign of water element, right? So some of you, and I also see a lot of blue color over here. So it could be that some of you are actually, you have a sunshine or a moonshine, belonging to, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Right? So you may want to check your chart, your birth chart, and see, if you are Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But even if you are not, right? Because water is also a symbol of emotion. Water is also a symbol of, that energy, right? And so it's also, this Lapis Lazuli also talks about creativity, right? So again, you have multiple qualities. I cannot really single out one particular quality for this particular group. It's a strong group, a very high energy group, creativity, passion, drive, inner wisdom, leadership skills. Others follow you by example. You are also good teachers. You are continuously learning and enhancing, your already rich, repertoire of skills, repertoire of knowledge. But only one caveat, just learn to surrender. And also these crystal keys, I didn't really talk about this too much, but this crystal keys again talks about that wisdom, Having that insight, crystal keys. So what are the keys in life? This key is just the insight, not losing sight of the real insight in life, the real nature of life. What is your divine goal? What is your ultimate goal in this life? Not losing track of that. I think that's what's more important. I think that's why this card has come out reversed in a way, because, and also interestingly, this card has come out below this surrender card, the willing release card. So at some point you have to understand that, there is a greater purpose to all this, many gifts that God has given you. It is not to be wasted, and I shouldn't use the word waste over here, because obviously this has all proved very useful for you in giving you a very successful material life. But at some point you need to take it beyond that material success. You need to really understand that all that wisdom, all that energy, all that talent, you can put it to even better use. Were you to surrender yourself, were you to go after the hidden keys of life, the hidden insights, the hidden gems of life, right? Because that's what should be your real purpose. The burst of magic, it also talks about this lotus. This lotus is also a symbol of wisdom. In ancient, yogic philosophy, the lotus is also a symbol of thada, it's a symbol of wisdom, right? So I think your real pursuit, because you people are people of such high caliber, of such high capacity, such high skills, wisdom, that the universe is trying to push you towards that real wisdom, right? The real insights to life. What is our purpose of life? What is the meaning of this life, right? And that's where you can go beyond your material success to even higher success. And that's why you can start teaching others about the real things of life. It's a very overall good spread, strong spread, a lot of qualities. Some of you could become successful writers, painters, music composers, content creators, anything that requires creativity, anything that requires energy, anything that requires leadership skills. You'll be very successful in that. I think you're already very successful in that, right? It also there's several manifestation cards. We have the world card, we have the new life, right? And also this new life is very interesting. This is going to be my parting comment for this particular group. See, this new life, here an egg is just hatched, right? And a new life is coming out. Now you may ask, what is this new life? I'm already leading a good life, right? So I think this is what I was talking about. Taking it one step further. Because you have it in you, because you people are such powerful people, you shouldn't just, be content with this. You should take it even further. What is that new life waiting for you? That life that is pushing you towards even greater wisdom that is already hidden inside you. That's why this Lapis Lazuli has come out. That's why the water sign has come out. The water sign also talks about spirituality, right? Water sign also talks about, that real wisdom, right? So I think that's where the universe is trying to push you. So you are going to get obviously a lot of material success, there's no question about that. And you are going to reach that position of, power, authority, balance, prosperity. But then after that, once you have done that, you have to push even further. You have to push the envelope even further, because you people are the right kind of people to do that. Right, so again, learn to surrender. Watch out for signals from the universe, symbols, repeating events, deja vus, all these kind of things, right? And push your boundary even further. Then your new life, I think, is waiting for you. That's promising even more happiness and even more inner knowledge and wisdom for you. I think that's all I have for you, my group number 2. Hope this resonates with you. If it does, don't forget to give me a like and leave me a comment and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you want to know more about your particular case, I do offer private readings. the description of that. The link to that will be given in the description box below. You can feel free to contact me. You can also follow my Facebook page, Other Musings. The link for that is also given below. I hope to see you in another video in the future. For now, I take your leave. Bye. Hey Group 3, for those of you who have chosen this Howlite crystal, we'll see what is your dominant quality. And at the same time, I'm going to also talk about how you can enhance that quality of yours by being aware of certain things that may not be allowing you to manifest that quality of yours to the fullest extent, right? Because we all are born with certain qualities, but sometimes, because of our ignorance and sometimes, because of the fact that, we are not aware of certain things, we don't let that quality or that particular gift of ours to manifest to the fullest extent, right? So when I'm talking about that quality, I'm going to also try to, touch upon certain things that may be holding you back a little, where, your quality is not really acting as your quality, but is acting a little bit to your detriment, right? So I think my group number 3, why I say this for this particular group is because your mind for this particular group, and I think it is true to an extent for everyone, but particularly for this group, your mind is your biggest friend, is your biggest strength, as well as, to a certain extent, it is causing a little bit of a hindrance in your life, right? So your mind, and what I mean by that is, your mind, you people have been endowed with a lot of mind-related qualities, right? So you are definitely intuitive, right? You are intuitive, and some of you may have psychic abilities, right? For example, you may be clairaudient or clairvoyant, or clairsentient, right? So you may be able to, hear things. You may be able to see things like remote viewing. That's what's clairvoyant, right? That other people, may not be able to do so, right? You may be also very perceptive to dreams, where the universe may be trying to communicate to you through different avenues, right? And so you have that ability to really communicate to the universe, to really, draw messages or receive messages from beyond the veil, right? And why I say this is because, you have the moon card over here, right? And then you have the opening to discovery. This opening to discovery and the burst of magic, right? These two have come side by side, and they kind of, to me, I kind of get the same vibes from both of these cards, right? So because when I look at these two, the first thing that I'm drawn to is that both of them, they talk about this dark sky, right? And whenever I see dark, starry sky, it talks about mystery. It talks about occult, right? And it's as if, and then when I look at this card, there's a keyhole, right? It's as if, you can penetrate this darkness. You can penetrate and you can look beyond this veil of darkness, this veil of mystery, and you can look beyond that. Right? That's why I said, you are very intuitive, you may be psychic, and some of you may be drawn to occult subjects, some of you, you may be very good astrologers, very good tarot readers, maybe, some other medium, spiritual mediums. Whatever it is, something that requires that deeper insight, that psychic abilities, intuition, you will be very good in those kind of fields, right? Also, the burst of magic is like sometimes you may get that sudden flash of knowledge, right? That's what I said. Dream could be also playing a very big role over here, right? So you may be getting sudden communication, sudden insights through dreams. So pay very close attention to your dreams. You may be dreaming a lot. You may be dreaming very vivid dreams, right? So pay attention, try to pay attention to those, right? And so when I see these three cards, and the moon, obviously, it's all about our mind. So you have a very strong perceptive mind, very intuitive mind. And again, you are drawn to, you may be drawn to occult subjects, right? So this is all the good points, right? So definitely this, you have some really special qualities, right? Whereby, the universe is giving you an opportunity to communicate to them and to receive messages from them by which, you can heal others. Not only heal others, first and foremost, heal yourself, right? Guide yourself. And at the same time, be a channel of messages. So you are like a bridge, you can act like a bridge to really pass on that communication from the hidden realms to other people. So other people may be coming to you, for insights, for advices, based on astrology, based on, palmistry, based on tarot, anything like that, divination, right? Anything like that. So you people will be, I think, very good. So that is your strong point. And you will do particularly well, if you take any of these things, as your career profession or even as your side business, right? Because your mind, that intuitive ability, that psychic ability, and the ability to communicate or look beyond the veil of darkness, the ability to see hidden communications from the universe, synchronicities. You may be very open to seeing, certain hidden patterns, repetitive numbers, deja vus, right? You may be very open to seeing those. You may be seeing, very vivid dreams. Anyway, so, and I think just below this Boston magic, I have the infinite, right? So it's clearly the infinite, may be trying to communicate through you, right? You may also have, very well-developed, third chakra. Sorry, not the third chakra, I mean the crown chakra, right? Right. So the universe is clearly trying to communicate through you. So you are like acting like as a channeler. You are acting as a medium of messages, right? So I see these are very strong points. These are very good qualities about you. But at the same time, also before I move on, so clearly, people who are born with this kind of qualities will certainly be drawn to spirituality to an extent, right? So, because occult and psychic qualities, they are not too far off from spirituality, right? Because people, who have those gifts or those qualities, they will certainly be drawn to, the spiritual side of things, right? Because you may not be happy, or you are not the kind of people, who will be too happy doing the mundane things involved, or living a very ordinary life, because you may be getting, again, these flashes of messages, or drawn to extraordinary things, right? So that's why I think spirituality, or definitely, this is another, I wouldn't say it's your quality, but definitely you may be spiritual in nature, or you may feel that, that inclination towards spiritual side of things, and later on in your life, or even right now, you may be already following certain spiritual practices, right? So meditation. Now to come to really, to look at the flip side of things. Now I know though this particular reading is about qualities, but as I said before, it is also my duty to at the same time, make you aware of certain things, right? And I think your mind, as I said before, it's a friend as well as it's a little bit of an enemy to you. And the way it's acting like an enemy is because clearly I sense a certain lack of balance, a certain lack of, harmony. And clearly people, who have very strong minds, who are always getting these intuitions, who are getting these flashes, who are getting these sudden messages, they may be a little impatient by nature, right? So I sense that, some of you may be a little impatient in nature. You may be a little rigid in nature, right? And you may not be thinking through. So I sense that lack of patience a little bit, that maybe a tendency to be a little rigid. And because of that, you may have faced certain troubles in your life, right? Because I sense that lack of happiness, that lack of a little bit of a lack of success, and that lack of balance, that lack of harmony, right? I sense a little bit of that, right? Now again, this could be normal because someone of your stature, right? You may not be able to mix with others in a very normal, casual way, because you may be always diverted towards certain other aspects of life, right? So that's why it may be very difficult for you to mingle with others. But at the same time, I feel like you need to work on that attitude of yours a little bit. So clearly, flexible card has come out, right? So it talks about flexibility, adjusting to different situation, right? And being open to different things, right? Different ideals, right? And see, the flexibility has come out over here, just beside the surrender card. So you cannot surrender unless you are flexible, right? So clearly the surrender and flexibility and spirituality, so these three cards side by side, right? They talk about, you becoming more flexible, you opening up yourself, to the universe, and again, remember, this opening up is particularly important for you because, as I was telling you, with respect to this card and the Burst of Magic card, universe, you are like, their channel, you are like their bridge, they are trying to communicate through you. So to be an effective medium, to be an effective channeler of messages, you have to first and foremost learn to surrender, right? So, because you are like a receiver, you are like a receptacle of message, right? So you have to build yourself up in such a way that, that you are the perfect receptacle, the perfect receiver. And some of you, as I was telling before, you may be already following some spiritual practices, you may be already doing certain meditation, right? And clearly, from what I see over here, that is your goal, and that is, I think, in a way, it's not only your biggest gift, it's also kind of your goal in life, because I clearly see that material success, material happiness, so-called material victory, it may not play a big role in your life, at least in this life. For you, it's more about developing that otherworldly qualities, developing that psychic faculty, developing that ability to look beyond the mundane, penetrate the darker veil, right? Being an effective medium, being an effective bridge of communication with the through the universe, opening up your crown chakra, right? Opening up your crown chakra. I think that's what is your biggest. I think the goal in this particular life, and it's again based on the fact that you are intuitive by nature, you are a psychic by nature, you are open to different signals and communications from the universe, right? And again, so I also draw your attention to this card, the balanced forces. See, the balanced forces, this has come out reversed, right? At the same time, you have the Two of Cups over here, coming out reversed. So again, this talks about a little bit of, maybe impatience, a little bit of maybe lack of balance. So that's what you definitely need to work on, right? So if you look at this series of cards over here, from here to here, it's like, it's telling you spirituality, surrender, flexible, thinker, it has come out reversed, balanced forces come out reversed. It's all talking about, I get the picture of someone who's very anxious, right? Who tends to get, a little bit, get easily stressed, who tends to get easily pained, who tends to go into, fits of rage easily. And whatever I've described so far, this being oversensitive, feeling that is feeling pain from easily, right? Not being able to control, your impatience. These all actually are very characteristic of someone, who has a very strong moon sign. Because, you people have that, another thing is that water quality, right? So you have this, you have the water over here, you have the water over here, right? So I think that water quality, you have also have water over here, right? Because, you people are so sensitive, because you people are so open to that otherworldly things, because you have that psychic, you are psychic by nature, and that generally people of such, who are born with such talents or such gifts, they will be little different from others. They will be more sensitive, oversensitive, super sensitive. They will tend to remain, within their own world, within their own, cocoon. They won't be able to mix with others properly. And even if they try to mix, others may not be able to grasp them fully. Right? They may think, that these people are too introverted. These people are like lost in their own world. Right? I think that is the scenario with you. So that's why, you may feel pain easily. You may, go into kind of a shock or go into a trauma easily. Right? You may get into fits of anger easily. Because, you have a very overactive mind. Because, your moon is very strong. Right? And also, I wouldn't be surprised, if some of you, you have, for those of you who are familiar with the Vedic astrology, your moon, if you look at your birth chart, some of you, you may have the moon, in a very strong house. Your moon may be particularly strong, or you may have, your ascendant lord as the moon. So you may want to check your birth chart about that. So definitely, you are psychic, you are gifted. You can look beyond the regular stuff. Right? You do get psychic insights, very intuitive. You get insights. You can get vivid dreams. You may get sudden flashes of insights, sudden flashes of messages. Some of you may be clairaudient, some of you may be clairvoyant, right? And as a result of that. So these gifts unfortunately comes at a price, and the price that you are paying is, you are super sensitive, you are super emotional. You may, you may have to work on that, that lack of balance a little bit, the lack of harmony a little bit, right? You are definitely, you will be inclined, or you are already inclined to spirituality, right? And what you need to do is basically to fully manifest those qualities, to take it to the next level. Is really, as I was saying before, work on that lack of balance, try to surrender to the universe, and remember that God is your real friend, right? And the universe is watching out for you, right? And plus, your choice of Howlite, Howlite it's a calming stone. It talks about, calming your, your emotion, calming your stress. Your stress levels. It also heightens your patience. It's a calming stone, right? It can help you reduce your levels of stress and anger, right? So that's why you have chosen this stone. So clearly, and it also is white in color. So it talks about peace. So the more you work on this, the more you surrender yourself to the universe, the more you work on your inner balance, inner harmony, and work on your flexibility, try to be more flexible, open to criticism, doesn't matter, right? Because others everyone may not see you for what you are, and you don't have to depend on others' opinion, right? Very rarely can others can really judge other people for what they are, right? Most people, they lack the foresight to see through others, and to really judge others based on their real qualities, right? So if you're feeling hurt by what other people are saying, if you feel like, that, you are too introverted, you cannot mix with others, don't bother. I mean, I myself can say from my example, I'm very super sensitive. I'm, very introverted. I cannot really mix with others so easily. But after a point, I have stopped bothering about all that, because I know that not everyone is born the same way. So I think you have some special qualities, that others don't have, and you can really help others by developing those qualities, by taking them to the next level, by really developing that inner balance, by learning to surrender to the universe, by really meditating and accepting a spiritual path. By that way, you'll be opening up your crown chakra more, and you'll be more receptive to these messages. And that way, you can really not only heal yourself, you can also help others, by really channeling those messages. Maybe start your own YouTube channel on tarot, maybe start your own astrology, right? Anything that requires intuition and that hidden insight, this will be very best for you. So I think that's all I have for you, my group number 3. Hope this resonates with you. If it does, don't forget to give me a like and leave me a note or comment. Also, it's a group reading. If you want to know something in particular, do feel free to, contact me. I do offer personal readings. The link for that will be given in the description box below. Do follow my Facebook page, Other Musings. The link for that will be also given in the description box below. And I hope to see you in another video in the future. For now, I take your leave. Bye. Hey, for those of you who have chosen this Moonstone, this will be your reading. We will see what is or what are your dominant qualities or gifts. And as I have said for some of the other groups also, we'll also try to look at what are the things that you need to keep in mind, so that you can take your quality and fully manifest that, right? Because as I was saying for the group number 3 also, we all have been endowed with certain qualities, certain hidden talents or gifts, but to take it to the fullest extent, sometimes we need to be aware of certain things. We need to work upon certain things that may be holding us back a little. So I think for group number 4, I'm going to do the same thing for you, and I'm going to try to make you aware of what are certain things that you need to keep in mind to be able to fully to basically to allow that potential inside you to really fully blossom and to fully manifest, right? This is a very interesting group, I have to say, group number 4. And in fact, I had to pull 2 other extra tarot cards for you to get a fuller picture. I think this particular group, you may have had certain, certain issues, certain conflicts in the past. Maybe, it was some childhood event. The first card that I'm drawn to is this 5 of Swords over here, right? I think there could be some sort of an emotional distress, something that may have, scarred you, that may have touched you the wrong way, that may have affected you the wrong way, right? So either some childhood incident, or some incident, while you are growing up, or maybe something, even in your adult years. And it could be, when I say something, it could be more than one thing. It could be like a series of events. And since it's a general reading, it's kind of difficult for me to, pinpoint in any one particular thing. But what I'm trying to say over here is, I get a sense that because of some thing or some events in the past, and because of some people's wrong behavior towards you, or some wrong perception of life in general, what that has allowed it to do is, it has, in a way, it has made you more self-reliant. So I think if I have to put your quality or your greatest gift in one word, it is, you are very self-reliant. You don't depend too much on others, right? In fact, you choose not to depend on others, right? Because I sense almost like a sense of distrust, a sense of that trust issues, where you cannot like fully trust others, and you are more safe, you feel more comfortable doing things yourself. You feel more comfortable doing it your way, right? Walking it alone or doing it alone, right? And so in a way, it's that also talks about, in a way, a lot of self-belief and a lot of, strength, right? So when I see this 5 of Swords over here, right, and then I have the 8 of Swords reversed. So when I look at these two cards, it's almost like, especially the 8 of Swords, it's like there was some incident in the past, that had trapped you, that had, really put you in an uncomfortable, cage-like situation, but you have been able to come out of that, right? And in the process of coming out of that, what it has allowed is, it has made you more self-reliant. It has made you more independent, right? It has made you more, it has developed that ability in you to not to rely on others too much and to basically be more focused on yourself, on your own ability, right? So for example, if you look at these cards over here, the Hermit, I have the Hermit card over here, and into me I see. Into me I see, right? Right. It's like she's keeping her eyes closed, and she's trying to look inside, right? Again, the Hermit also talks about, again, as the name suggests, Hermit, right? So plus, I have the Earth Magic card over here, Earth Magic, right? So Earth Magic, and plus I have the King of Pentacles over here, the Muse of Materials, which is actually the King of Pentacles, right? Plus I have the Nature card over here. So when I look at especially the King of Pentacles and the Earth Magic, right? So here, see, for example, and especially when I look at this, her feet are touching the ground, right? She's like, you are very much stable. You are very connected to the ground. In other words, you are very rooted, right? You are very rooted. And again, I think the King of Pentacles also, in a way talks about the same thing. And you are not only rooted, you also feel more close to earth and nature, right? I think that's what this Nature card talks about, right? So you, in a way, you trust nature. So other than yourself, you only trust nature and and the nature's creation as your friends. You don't quite trust, it's almost like, you have, again, as I was telling before, there is some sort of a trust issue when it comes to, maybe your friends, maybe your relatives, maybe your near and dear ones, your colleagues. There's almost a trust issue over here, right? And I see this Mending card over here. This Mending, obviously Mending talks about healing or some sort of a repair or some sort of a restoration, right? Mending. And it could be, restoration of some family issues, some bonds that were broken, restoring those bonds, right? But in your case, it has come out reversed, right? And this has, and directly on top of that, you have the 5 of Cups. Again, so 5 of Cups, Hermit, Into Me I See. There are several cards. They're all talking about the same thing, that your inwardness, right? Your reliance on yourself, your reliance on your capabilities, right? And while this is good, right? And I think this is a very key quality of yours, because this talks about you being more, in a way, more mature, in a way, more capable of doing it alone. That independence, which is certainly good, right? So you are not dependent on others, right? And you have that belief, self-belief, that trust in yourself, and to do it yourself. But what happened? But so this is your good point, right? This is your good point. But what I'm sensing is, and again, see, before I change topic, so this is another interesting thing. See, directly below the Hermit card, I have the radical expansion. So radical expansion, and see, this is again come out reverse. So obviously the opposite of expansion is contraction, right? So again, it's like you are too much into yourself. You are drawn into yourself. You are like, you prefer living into some sort of a cocoon of your creation, right? You prefer to stay in your own world. You're like withdrawn to yourself. Again, this is come out just directly below the Hermit card. And again, when I look at these balanced forces, right? So these balanced forces and the earth magic and the King of Pentacles, they're again talking about that overall stability. You are stable doing that. You feel a certain sense of stability doing that. You are more comfortable doing that. You would rather do it alone rather than leaving it on others, right? So this is obviously a good quality, right? And we always talk about being more independent, not to rely on others, not to depend on others too much. Be more mature, be more stable yourself, right? So this is all good qualities, but there are certain caveats to this. And so I think that's what I was trying to, get some clarity myself, when I was looking at your spread. There's some caveats. I think the vibe that I'm getting over here is, in the process of doing it alone, see, sometimes what happens is, when you are doing it alone, and when you have chosen not to listen to others, no matter even if their advice is good, right? Then you are opening yourself up to certain pitfalls, certain potential troubles in your life, right? Because, for example, just to give you one example, sometimes if you are doing something where you don't have adequate experience, right? Where suppose you are doing something for the first time, right? And you don't have adequate experience in that. So you have done your homework, you have done all your readings, all your whatever you have to do. Right? You have done everything. But still, there's a saying that old is gold, or, wisdom is invaluable. You cannot really buy, sorry, not wisdom, I mean experience. Experience is a treasure. You cannot really buy experience in the market, right? You cannot really, so tomorrow if you decide, you cannot really purchase some experience in the market. It doesn't work like that. So if you are doing something, especially if it's a new venture, right, where you don't have adequate experience yourself, yes, you have put in your hard work, you have done all your homework, but still it leaves that small gap, that loophole, where you could have used, the experience of someone, who has done that, who has been involved with that particular thing, or that particular topic for a long period of time, who could have really given you some valuable advice. But in your case, my group number 4, what's happening is, because of this tendency to not to trust others, right? Because of your it's kind of a anxiousness, you are a little bit anxious about trusting others. You are more comfortable working with yourself. And in your case, it has gone to, it can sometimes go to some extent, to such an extent that you open yourself up to troubles because, you choose to ignore the advice of others, or you choose not to take the advice of others, even though they may have your best intention in their heart, even though they are trying to warn you of a potential, a potential troublesome situation. See, that's why I sense that the universe is, the universe is trying to warn you about that. See, I have this financial discipline card, right? I have the financial discipline card, then I have the Knight of Pentacles over here coming out reversed, right? And plus I have the leg up. So clearly, if you look at the leg up, it's talking about, this mama bear, who's who's old and experienced. This is what I was talking about. Someone old and experienced who has seen the world. She's there, to give a helping hand, to provide a leg up to this baby bear. And this may be you. So you are trying to do something. You are trying to maybe, overcome an obstacle, and whatever it could be. And there's someone over here, maybe, someone, from your friend circle, maybe someone from, maybe one of your senior colleague, maybe someone, who cares about you, maybe in your family, whoever it is, who's there, who's calling you, hey, take my help, take my advice, I can help you, right? But you are choosing not to. So there's clearly a message for you to take that help, take that advice, don't ignore it altogether, a leg up, right? And then secondly, and because you may have chosen not to do that in the past, you may have opened yourself up to, some financial issues, right? That's why it clearly talks about financial discipline. So I get the sense that maybe, in the past, because of you choosing not to ignore the advice or the experience of others who had maybe tried to warn you, you may have, faced some financial loss. You may have, faced some financial troubles. Same with this Knight of Pentacles, right? It talks about some little bit of lack of wisdom while dealing with financial matters, not being too careful, right? And I think this is fundamentally coming because of your tendency to, trust yourself too much, trust your intuitions too much. It's almost to the point that actually, and again, these are your good points actually, because the fact that you are so stable in yourself, you are so, in a way you are free of fear when it comes to yourself. You are so mature, you are prepared to do it alone. You are prepared, you're independent. You have that terrible independent streak of mind. You are rooted, you are balanced, right? But I think the universe is just telling you, just be a little careful. And oftentimes, this is what I was telling earlier. There are very rarely certain things, that you can take to extreme. Mostly, whatever it is, you have to maintain some moderation. See, that is what. See, that's why your temperance card has come out reversed, right? So anything in extreme or anything practiced in extreme becomes oftentimes a cause for little trouble, right? So it's good to be again, independent. It's good to maintain that, inner trust, inner balance, inner maturity, that, and obviously, you have faced some issues in the past that may have really changed your outlook, that may have really changed your mindset and caused this deep mistrust about others, right? But at the same time, remember that in this world, there are different kinds of people. Just because, you have had some bad experience with others, just because, you may have had some you may have met some bad people, bad acquaintances, doesn't mean that whoever comes into your life only has your bad intention in their mind. There could be other people, who actually want to help you out, who actually want to really aid you in your journey. So you need to be open to that, right? So you need to also, and see, that's another thing about this Five of Cups, right? So this is another thing about Five of Cups. See, this kind of gives a similar message as with this leg up, right? So just because you are too into yourself and you're only thinking about all these issues, all these bad experiences that you have had in the past, you are choosing to ignore these two fuller cups that are behind you, right? And that is this leg up. So I'm definitely sensing that there are still people, maybe one person or maybe more than one person, who are there, who genuinely like you, who have your best intention in their mind, but it is again that your that sense of independence, and because of which you have chosen to ignore them. So don't do that. maintain your good quality, and I think by taking proper advice as and when needed, and letting certain people into your life who has your best intention in their mind, you will be able to be more successful. You will be able to become more independent. You will be able to achieve more, because by doing that, you are going to combine the best of both worlds. You are going to combine your own independence, your own trust in yourself, in your capabilities, your own balanced nature, right? And combine that with proper experience, with proper foresight of someone, right? And that will really take you to a different level altogether. So definitely it's a very strong spread. Definitely you are someone who's balanced, who is rooted, who's more independent, who actually is very strong inside, right? And definitely there's a king of pentacle energy working for you, more stable, right? And there are chances of you may be already financially successful, and there's chances of you becoming more successful, right? And you have been able to overcome that, whatever that past trauma I was talking about. You are now more free of fear and anxiety, right? The only thing is, as I keep repeating, don't close that door altogether, where you choose not to allow anyone, no matter who it is, into your life and to give you a helping hand. When that hand is extended, take that hand. Obviously, do your homework, do your research, make sure that that no one is out to get you. But once you have convinced yourself, accept that help. And especially in the right situation, at the right time, at the right junction. Now, if that help presents itself, then take that help. I think that's that's very more important. So in a sense, also the fact that you have chosen this Moonstone, right? It talks about that. Obviously, it's a stone that signifies inner growth and inner strength, which I've already talked about. So you have that inner strength, but at the same time, it also signifies the need to soothe, that emotional instability, that stress. And again, that stress could be coming from some of those past memories, right? Some of those past memories, that may have left a very bad taste in your mouth, that may have left a very bad imprint on your life, on your overall belief, right? So leave that in the past to a certain extent. Don't let that change your outlook to such an extent that you become kind of a radical and you choose to totally lock everyone out, right? So just maintain that, bring back that balance. You are already a balanced person, but just bring back that balance, that is slightly lacking in your perception, right? And again, accept help wherever it is needed, and you will do much better. But these are very strong points. This is some of these are very strong points of yours, right? That hermit energy, that into me I see energy, the balanced rooted energy, and you may also feel very close to nature, which is also another strong point, right? So you may feel a certain affinity towards nature, towards creation, towards all the animals, except for maybe human beings, right? So I think that's the thing. So, and again, I'm not telling you to, let anyone and everyone into, within your boundary that you have created around yourself, no, but do let some people inside in your inner circle, I think, and probably who I am talking about. There are people out there who wants the best for you, who have your best interest in their mind. So you may do much better if you, choose to work with them and take their help and take their assistance. So that's all I have for you, my group number 4. Hope this resonates with you. And again, it's a general reading. So if you want to know about something in particular, do feel free to get in touch with me. I am offering private readings. The link can be found in the description box below. Also, please, if you like this reading, do leave me a like and leave me a comment and subscribe to my channel. Also, my Facebook page, Other Musing, that link is also given in the description box below. You can follow me over there. So this is all I have for today, and I hope to bring you another video in the future. For now, I take your leave. Bye.